so hard, give me water. I'm thirsty, my work is so hard. Whoa, my work is so hard. Oh.
The Board of Appeals is now in session. I'd like to welcome everybody this evening, and the first item on our agenda are the approval of the minutes. We have two sets of minutes before us this evening. I'd like to call for a motion for the approval first of the June 7th, 2017 minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from the June 7th meeting.
Second.
Do we have any discussion on those minutes?
None for me.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Abstain?
Abstain.
Okay, so the minutes pass, 3 yes and 1 abstention. Then we also have another set of minutes in front of us. Can I call for a motion to approve the June 14th, 2017 minutes?
I move to approve the June 14th, 2017 minutes.
Second?
Okay, do we have any discussion on those minutes?
Not that I'm aware of.
We're good.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Abstain?
Abstaining.
Okay, the motion passes. 3 yes, 1 abstention. Okay, good evening. Before us this evening, we have a public hearing. This is BOA 7613-2017. It's CR Associates for Martha Chu and Milton Fan, 10 Thornburn Place. This is R90 medium density residential zone with a request for a 7-foot variance of a 30-foot rear yard setback requirement. And I'd like to ask Ms. Caroline Siding to introduce the case.
Thank you. Good evening. This is a public hearing on Board of Appeals case BOA 7613-2017. The hearing was published in accordance with the requirements of the city charter and code on the city's website, and the property was properly posted. At the present time, there are 12 exhibits in the record files. They are referenced in an exhibit list in the files. The individual exhibits may be reviewed during the course of the meeting or in the Planning and Code Administration office during regular business hours at City Hall or on the city's website. Any objections to the receipt of any exhibit should be noted prior to the closing of the record. Otherwise, they will be deemed received in evidence. The application requests a 7-foot variance of the required 30-foot rear yard setback requirement for the construction of a house addition in the R90 zone as required by Section 24-32C of the zoning ordinance, Chapter 24 of the City Code at 10 Thorburn Place, Lot 22, Block D, Wesley, Gaithersburg, Maryland. This is the aerial photo with 10 Thorburn Place highlighted by the parcel in blue, so you can see it. And the applicant, Chris Reaver, is here. He's the property owner's contractor, and the property owners are also here, Martha Chu and Milton Fan. And I will turn it over to them to present their case.
Okay.
Good
Good evening, and I'd like to swear you in as a witness.
Okay.
And
Anybody that's going to speak.
anybody that's going to be testifying this evening, if you just raise your hand and your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you are about to give in this matter shall be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Thank you very much. Please proceed.
Good evening. My name is Chris Reaver. My firm, CR Associates, has been working with the homeowners, Martha and Milton, trying to design an addition that meets the needs of their growing family while trying to stay within the required 30-foot rear yard setback. Excuse me. We are here this evening to seeking a variance of 7 foot of the 30-foot rear yard setback. Martha and Milton are the original homeowners since 1979 and have raised their family in this house. They love the neighborhood and living in Gaithersburg City, and it's their desire to remain in the home throughout their retirement. We tried other designs to try to stay within the setback. The other designs we considered would result in unusual and disruptive flow patterns within the house, or would require a complete relocation of the kitchen, making the project cost prohibitive. Additionally, the other designs would result in unsightly additions, either protruding out the right side of the house or protruding out the left rear of the house to try and stay within that setback. The final design that we came up with encroaches only by 7 feet only on the right far 2 corners of the house. So you can see the 30-foot setback line on the drawing, and we designed the addition so that just the 2 corners of the addition are the full 7 feet that we're requesting.
Okay.
The addition we designed is visually appealing on the exterior. And you can kind of do a couple of the,
That'd be great.
that's the rear of the house, that's the right side of the house, and the left side of the house. The design also achieves the homeowner's goals of a larger dining room for the holiday and formal dinners, as well as a great room for casual family get-togethers. So you can see the dining room on, I guess, the left side of your screen, a little L shape where we increase the size of the dining room, and then we combine the kitchen and the current family room into one big great room. Martha has discussed the addition with her neighbors. On the left and right, neither neighbor had any objection to the addition. And the trees, there's mature trees lining the back of the property that are probably as tall as the house itself. And so the rear neighbors probably would never even see the addition. So there's been, I believe, 3 other homes in the neighborhood with similarly odd-shaped lots that have previously been granted variances. So we hope that the board will grant us a variance this evening in order for the homeowners to move forward with their project. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Robert?
Yeah, going over these pictures and everything, that is an odd-shaped lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's unusual, and it does make it very tough for you
Yes,
to
sir.
do your job correctly. I always get concerned because you go into certain parts of town, like Kensington and even Rockville, that when they start putting on additions, that they almost look like they don't belong in the neighborhood. So as long as it appears aesthetically to not make it stand out like a sore thumb, and you said you can't even be seen by the neighbors.
No, the neighbor on the left can't even see the
Right.
parts of the addition and the variance, and the neighbor on the right, like I said, there's only one little small corner. And you can see there's not a parallel property line to the house anywhere on there.
And there's no encroaching on, we've had some issues in the past, there's nothing that we have to worry about, Caroline, for any issues on that?
No, the addition is completely within their property, so it's
Okay.
really just a question of the setback. So there's no issue of it encroaching on anybody else's property,
Okay.
including the city's.
That's great.
Okay. Aaron?
Yeah, you just mentioned that there were some others in the neighborhood with similar variants or lot structure where there are similar issues. Are we able to see them on Exhibit 10, which is the overhead?
I actually have an extra exhibit that we can add in that Mr. Reaver actually asked me to put together after this was, so now, let me, I think it's in a separate file. Give me a second. And this would be exhibit number, how am I gonna get it? Hold on one second. It's in here, but it's easy to load it back. We can add this as exhibit number 13.
Oh, great.
Where am I now finding? Oh, full screen.
Got it.
So those are all in purple, are all of the variances in that subdivision that have been granted in the past 30 years, maybe.
Yeah, and we can see a bunch of them in the overhead on Exhibit 10.
Even one next door.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We can go back to exhibit 10 too.
So yeah, so next door 9,
Mhm.
and then 3 up the same road, and then at Thorburn and Redding Ridge, number 1 was on that map, and I think 19 at Thorburn and Thorburn Court and Thorburn Road also. Okay, it's helpful. Thank you.
Ashley?
I was just curious, have you all spoken with your neighbor to the back of you, other than just receiving, I believe they received the lovely postcard in the mail. Have you all spoken with them? I know you spoke to the left and right.
No, I didn't speak.
Just
Okay.
introduce your name and your, just for the, so we have it on the record.
Okay, I'm Martha Chu, the owner of the property, and then we did not speak to the backyard
Okay,
neighbors.
that's fine. I know they're aware of it because they received the communication from the city, but I was just wondering. But I agree with Aaron that this overhead is very helpful in seeing that other houses have had this, and it's been somewhat successful.
Any further?
I don't have anything further. I do want to just say that I do appreciate the consideration in keeping the character of the neighborhood that was taken into your plans. That's appreciated.
Thank you. And I just have a question. We could bring up the exhibit that has the back of the house that shows. So my question is this a two-level addition, or is this just a one level that's pushing out the back?
It's just one level pushing
Okay.
out the back. It has a walkout basement, so, you know,
Okay.
it's
Understand.
from the ground, from the grade, it would be 2 stories high, but it's only a one level addition.
Okay, that looks great there. I don't have any further questions. Okay. Any other questions from the board here at this time? No?
No? I think I answered all the questions.
And do we have any questions from the audience tonight? Anybody else that would like to present testimony? Yes, please come forward, and I'll need to swear you in.
Or what, she said, she doesn't get sworn.
Was it-
They don't get sworn.
I'm Renee Browning. I live at 8 Thorburn Place, right next door.
Oh, you don't get
So I'm
sworn in.
sorry I was
Okay.
a little bit late. I just wanted to know
Thank you.
how it was going to affect the walkway that's common where I live.
Okay, so you live at number 8, so looking at the house, you would be to the right
Yes.
there. Okay. All right, so. And could you state your name again? I'm sorry.
Renee
Renee.
Browning.
Renee Browning. Thank you, Ms. Browning. I'll direct the question to Mr. Reber.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you, the question is how this addition's going to impact the house if you're looking at Ms. Fian's house to the right there, Ms. Browning's house. There's a common walkway.
Yes, ma'am. And our addition actually is further away from the original house. At the front corner of the existing house
Okay,
is closer to the walkway than what our addition will be after it's built. So there will be no effect whatsoever to the walkway.
okay.
Well, you said it was closer to the walkway. I'm
Well, it is,
confused.
the addition, the house itself, even after the addition is built, is still, I guess I can't point on here, but the front
You
right,
can point.
Just point on
Oh.
for her, so
Yeah.
if,
the front right
Mrs.
corner of the
Browning.
house here,
Mrs. Browning,
I'm sorry.
Okay,
She's got it up here.
okay.
The front right corner of the house right here,
Yeah,
even after we build our addition, it would still be closer to the walkway than what our addition will be after it's built.
so is that the line where it says 20 feet?
Yes.
Like, is that the line where the addition is going to?
Yeah, so the addition, the corner of the closest part of the addition will be 20 feet away.
Because I don't see the common walkway on this graph.
Oh, well, this is the 10-foot easement, so
Oh,
here
okay.
is basically the center of the walkway.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have another testimony? Would you like to come forward?
Do we know how long the
Oh, I'm sorry.
construction?
We need you to come to the microphone. Thank you.
I just wanted to know how long the construction was going to last, approximately.
Probably about 5 to 6 months.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anyone else in the audience that has any questions? Okay, all right. Anything else that you'd like to state, Mr.
No, ma'am.
Reavers?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right.
One more question. So how many
Sure.
feet is the
Wait,
new?
wait.
Till you get up there.
Sorry. How many feet is the, that new addition from the existing structure? How many feet out does it extend?
Oh, how far out?
Yeah.
It is on that side, I believe it's 4.5 feet.
Okay, thanks.
Do we have any further questions? Okay. Then I'm going to need a motion to close the record, and I'll need to take a vote on that, so.
I move to close the record on Board of Appeals 7613-2017.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The record is now closed with a vote of 4-0. All right, now we can have any further discussion on the case here. Robert, Aaron, or Ashley?
I think my questions that I was, looking at have been answered already. Everything is cut, dry, and simple by the plans. They're very, very exact. You said 4 foot, 4.5 feet, 4'5", 3/16.
I have to say too, it is quite an unusually shaped lot
Yes.
there.
Mhm.
And so, as described, this was the best way to use the property that's there in order to put the addition on with reasonable cost. Any further discussion?
Nothing further to add. I think because of the situation of the lot and because there's no detrimental impact to the use and enjoyment, the character of the neighborhood, seems like it makes sense.
Okay.
Agreed.
All right, so I will need to have the resolution presented before the board. Who would like to present the resolution?
Okay.
I have it here.
Yep.
Got it.
Move that the Board of Appeals, based on the findings and conclusions outlined in the draft resolution, approve variance application BOA-7613-2017 and adopt resolution BOA-7613-2017.
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the resolution passes 4-0. Okay, so we're done with that. Is there anything else to be brought before the board this evening? Ms. Sykes?
No, the next meeting in August, it may be the first meeting of the year that we do not have anything on the agenda. So I will just confirm that when it gets a little closer in case there's anything that comes up between now and when we would have to have something scheduled. But I think we're going to have an August recess.
And Frank Johnson, do you have anything you'd like to add, or Trudy?
Well, Trudy has something.
Nope.
Okay. I do have one thing, and it's regarding, I don't think we have raised it before here, but it is related to a bill that was passed and signed by the governor this year, related to a public body being able to close a meeting for any reason. Sometimes you have in the past wanted to close a meeting to receive, essentially to receive legal advice. Doesn't happen all the time, but there's now a state law provision that says in order to be able to do that, you have to go through a certain certified training, which is something given by the Academy for Excellence in Government Service, and that's partly an MML, Maryland Municipal League, partly a MACO group. They also support it. In any event, there are a couple of certified trainers that have to be involved. So what happens is the board has to designate somebody to receive that training. Now, generally, in the past, it's always assumed to be the chair, but we do have to ask you to do that, and this is effective October 1st. Again, this is in order to be able to close a meeting, just that individual would have to be around. You could designate more than one person, and anybody will be able to attend the training. The city is actually going to be having the training on September 12th. The announcements will come out. It'll actually be at the, I believe at the, not at the activity center, but at the, at a little bit further down the road from there, but that'll be clear in the announcement.
Community Center.
It might be at the community, at Casey Community Center, yes, thank you. In any event, that'll be clear on the announcement, but what we would ask, especially if you're not gonna meet in August, and can just do it by consensus and say, hey, the board consents to the chair and vice chair being designated, that's entirely your choice, but we would ask for that. And then just watch for the announcement, and we would hope everybody can attend, but we will be having that on September 12th.
Okay, thank you, Craig.
Now, just by way, also for a closed meeting, if it is necessary, we will also be using a form that basically has been approved by the Attorney General that lists everything. That's also the backup way to do it anyway, just in case you had neither of the designated persons or whatever. You still would be able to close by using that form. So we'll cover it in both ways. It's, I guess, the suspenders and belt approach as well, but in any event.
And any other board member is welcome to come too, right?
Everybody.
Yeah.
We're actually sending it out to everybody and hope that everybody can attend. But each group does have to designate somebody who should be the designated closed meeting person to get the training.
And that's a Tuesday night, Tuesday, September 12th.
Okay. Well, we have a few minutes, maybe we could just talk about it now, since September will be here before we know it. In hearing what Frank just discussed with us, I mean, I certainly want to open it up to all members and welcome all members of the Board of Appeal to take the training. And that since our attendance here can vary from meeting to meeting, so I would hope that we could designate perhaps the chair and vice chair, but that, you know, if your schedule permits, that everyone would be able to attend if their schedule's
Is
allowed.
it an evening meeting?
Actually, I don't know what the specifics are on the timing. You would tend to assume meeting, but it may very well be daytime because they are asking there's an assistant attorney general who serves as the counsel to the Open Meetings Compliance Board. So she's going to do it, and then there are a couple of certified local practitioners, one of which is myself. So I may be the other one doing that. So you may have some familiarity there, but I'm not sure of the exact timing because it's actually set by the academy. And they're kind of working with MML to set that up.
Okay,
So.
all right. Okay, so
As long as it's evening, I'm fine.
okay, sense of consensus there.
Understood.
Absolutely,
I know.
I agree.
So,
We don't
think
want
that makes
anybody
the
to feel
most
like they
sense.
were left out of that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So the board, minus our one member here, we have a unanimous consent to attend
Very good.
the training on September the 12th, based upon the timing,
Sure.
our availability based upon the timing.
Sure.
That's local. That's good.
And in terms of designation, just so that the record can reflect, is there,
So we'll designate.
you can either vote or consent, just by unanimous consent, that's all entirely up to you all.
we have unanimous consent for chair and vice chair.
Yep, agreed.
Yes.
Okay.
And those are the designated, but again, just as the chair said, all are invited and certainly
Welcome.
hope to see you all there. Right, thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Any other comments this evening? Okay, all right, can I call for a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Okay, the meeting is now adjourned.
Feel glad today. If you're not the one, then why does my hand fit yours this way? If you are not mine, then why does your